Jai Sri Krishna, and let us do the Yog Vashisht today. And we are on page 112 and 94. I don't know why that is. Probably, I think the reason why there are two page numbers is because maybe there was a Yog Vashisht which was initially in two volumes, and now it has been maybe in one volume. But I'm going to read this, and you know that Vashishtaji is explaining to Sri Ram. And if you have been with me thus far, you should be able to understand all that is being read. But I'll still try and comment a little bit in between. So Vashishta continues. Victory over this goblin known as mind is gained when, with the aid of one's own self-effort, one attains self-knowledge and abandons the craving for what the mind desires as pleasure. So you have to, once you, see, I tell you what, the world gives you problem no matter what. You want to get married, you'll have problems. You don't want to get married, you will have problems. You have money, you have problems. You don't have money, you still have problems. You want to have children, you have problems. You don't want to have children, you will also be in pain. So when you understand the situation, you will realize that craving for it is really not that essential, though you still have to do your duties and your karma. But anyway, I continue. And he says this can easily be achieved without any effort at all by the cultivation of the proper attitude. Woe unto him who's unable to give up cravings, for this is the sole means to one's ultimate good. I always say, whatever comes naturally and easily in your life, accept it and enjoy it. But this craving, this obsession, is in my mind what creates the trouble. By intense self-effort, it is possible to gain victory over the mind, and then without the least effort, for individualized consciousness is absorbed in the infinite consciousness within its individuality is broken through. This is easy and easily accomplished. They who are unable to do this are indeed vultures in human form. Wow. Abandon your reliance on fate or goods or gods created by dull-witted people, and by self-effort and self-knowledge make the mind no mind. Let the infinite consciousness swallow, as it were, the finite mind, and then go beyond everything. With your intelligence united with the Supreme, hold on to the self, which is imperishable. So I think what we need to do is understand how everything gives us problem except for the right attitude, and then keep telling ourselves, okay, this is impermanent, and go for what is really the truth. And for that you will have to go within and become aware. When the mind is thus conquered by remaining completely unagitated, you will consider even the conquest of the three worlds worthless. This does not involve studying the scriptures or rising or falling, nothing but self-knowledge. Why do you consider it difficult? If this is found difficult by someone, how does he even live in the world without self-knowledge? He's saying it's not difficult. If you have just become a little aware, you will find it's not difficult. One who knows the deathless nature of the self is not afraid of death, nor is he affected by separation from friends and relations. The feeling, this is I and this is mine, are the mind. When they are removed, the mind ceases to be. Then one becomes fearless. Weapons like sword generate fear. The weapon, wisdom, that destroys egotism, generates fearlessness. Towards whichever object the mind flows with intensity, in that it sees the fulfillment of its craving. Of course, there is no mind without restlessness. Restlessness is the very nature of the mind. It is a work of this restlessness of the mind based on the infinite consciousness that appears as this world. O Rama, that indeed is the power of the mind. But when the mind is deprived of its restlessness, it is referred to as the dead mind. And that itself is penance, tapas, as also the verification of the scriptures and liberation. That doesn't mean that you must become boring and you must become very serious and not enjoy the things that come to you naturally. This is my understanding. Because I have heard that spiritual people can be a lot of fun. In fact, because they do not take the world very seriously. So think about it. I continue. O Rama, mind constantly swings like a pendulum between the reality and the appearance, between consciousness and inertness. When the mind contemplates the inner objects for a considerable time, it assumes the characteristics of such inertness. When the same mind is devoted to inquiry and wisdom, it shakes off all conditioning and returns to its original nature as pure consciousness. So, this is the lesson for today. It's not difficult. If you have been with me thus far, you will not find it difficult. At least I hope. If you still find it difficult, then just continue listening until things become clear for you. But until then, you take care and God bless.